Somebody call a doctor because Bad Medicine is back. That's the answer. This is the Appleton Oak. I'm Mason Quinn. Folks, today we are getting back to Sherlock Holmes. This is part 2, A Game of Shadows from 2011. This is one I saw many years ago and enjoyed it, so I will enjoy watching these two. Check it out with you.
Obviously, I haven't seen this one because I didn't see the first one when we watched that one, so I'm definitely ready, willing, and able to keep this story going with Sherlock.
Yeah, haven't seen this one. The first one was also a first-time watch for me. Thought it was a phenomenal film, a lot of fun, a lot of action, a lot more fighting than I thought we'd get out of a Sherlock Holmes film, so I'm pumped for this one.
All right, without further ado then, let's go!
Hey, Steve, can I get a water? Coming right up. Got a fresh pack right down here. Oh, my back. Oh.
Uh-oh. Looks like Steve's back just called it quits.
Some help would be good right about now.
Yeah, you're gonna need some help with that, Steve. Your injury could be worth millions. You should consider calling Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm.
With more than 1,000 lawyers and 4,000 case staff ready to fight for you if you become their client.
But Steve's worried. He doesn't have the cash to pay for expensive legal fees. Worry no more. Morgan & Morgan will fight for every penny you deserve. And guess what? The fee is absolutely free. Unless you win. But Steve doesn't want to sue his boss, even though he hasn't gotten his surgery bills covered in the last 6 months. Steve, when you sue for an injury, you're not suing your boss. You're suing the insurance company.
So if you've been a victim in a workplace injury or any other personal injury, you can hit the link in the description to get Morgan & Morgan to fight for you.
Steve did, and now he's back in the game.
The year was 1891. France and Germany were at each other's throats, the result of a series of bombings. Some said it was nationalist. My friend, Sherlock Holmes, had a different theory entirely.
Oh.
Anarchists suspected in Strasbourg bombing!
Isn't it crazy they had architecture like that in the 1800s?
Yeah.
Think about the construction equipment that was available at the time.
And now we have a bunch of metal boxes.
Yeah, when we were in Athens and we were looking at all the stuff there, how old it was and how they had to go about getting everything. Hey, Rachel's back. There's Downey.
Yeah, oh.
Skies.
Got some rice and beans. You should get a hat like that, Answer.
Like hers?
Yeah.
When did you start working for the Postal Service?
Shame your activities have landed you in the gutter.
A curious parcel. Who's the intended recipient?
You can see that.
There's that, yeah.
How about the Savoy? 8 o'clock? And will you be coming as yourself?
Most likely. 3 men have been following you for the last half mile. Their motives highly unsavory.
He's like lightly jogging.
By the way, they're not pursuing me. They're escorting me, and instead of 3, there seems to be 4. Now, be careful with the face, boys. We do have a dinner date tonight.
Wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you?
I just said be careful with the face.
I've got the rest. It's coming back now.
There we go. There's the Sherlock ninja we know.
There's the rice and beans coming into effect.
Yeah. There you go again.
I hope they do the slowdown again.
Jesus, is this Jason Statham or is it Sherlock Holmes?
Payers!
Was he just gonna slow it down now?
Here we go.
The old brass knuckles. Oh, got him.
These movies have to be the most physical we've seen Robert Downey Jr. in, I would think. Huh?
As far as I can recall.
Gotta be.
As far as hand to hand,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I mean, obviously, Iron Man, it is what it is there, but
Please give this to him. He's expecting it. Tell him our friend thinks I delivered it to his sister.
I was assured full payment would be there.
Have you ever met him in person? Or like me, have you?
Hold it. Just don't move it.
oh,
Oh dear. I told you not to move it.
1,800.
Well, good luck.
1,900.
£1 million.
whoa!
Oh, and by the way, fire. Leave my siding, they'll be dead within an hour.
And don't be late for dinner.
Trust me, this is what I do for a living. I'm a consulting detective of some repute.
Oh, he's about to damage a lot of property.
Well,
Or not.
not too bad.
Well.
Oh,
No,
didn't make it far.
The old poison dart to the crotch.
Every time.
Fresh pot of tea, thank you, George.
Yes, Miss Adler. Do you have the letter?
It was taken.
Did you imagine, Miss Adler, that something would happen to you? Is that why you chose to meet here in a public place, your favorite restaurant?
Oh, who's the bad guy?
Oh. You guys know me in faces, but boy, that looks like a lot like Arthur. That's what I was thinking, too.
I didn't catch it until right there. That is Arthur.
Oh, there's Moriarty.
I only
that's
see
our
his
guy from
face now.
Chernobyl.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's been apparent to me for some time that you had succumbed to your feelings for him. That's my problem to solve now. I no longer require your services.
Oh, I can't believe we got Arthur. Uh-oh.
It's interesting they didn't show us what happened to her. They just made some of the noises.
Yeah. He's just gonna have dinner by himself then, I guess. On a couch.
Well, there we go.
Game of Shadows.
Oh, there's the puppy. Very well trained. He wants to take off.
Yeah.
Holmes, you in there?
Jesus.
I don't care where you are, as long as you're ready.
Turkeys.
I have to catch the lot.
Oh,
Oh, that's you dead, I'm afraid.
You win.
Still don't see me.
Look at that camouflage.
Oh, how I've missed you, Holmes. Have you?
Hi, Mrs. Hudson, how are you?
Oh, I'm so pleased to see you, Doctor.
Sickly sweet nanny.
Might I have a word? Doctor, you must get him to a sanatorium. He's been on a diet of coffee, tobacco, and coca leaves.
Whoa! Why are you here?
I'm getting married. We've lost a few pounds, Holmes.
Listen, you've picked them up.
It is our last adventure, Watson.
I intend to make the most of it.
I see you've made good use of my old office.
What to a scandal involving an Indian cotton tycoon, the overdose of a Chinese opium trader, bombings in Strasbourg and Vienna, and the death of a steel magnate in America all have in common.
Well, according to your diorama, Professor James Moriarty.
Moriarty.
Professor.
Do you have any evidence to substantiate your claim?
This
Dr. Hoffmannsthal's death.
is I averted an explosion that was intended for him. He must be stopped before his evil machinations come to a crescendo.
What have you done to Gladstone?
Ricinus communis. The fruit is highly toxic. Excellent opportunity. This may be just the thing.
How many times are you going to kill my dog, Holmes?
It's got the adrenaline.
it's so wild that they just like they're experimenting on the dog.
Watson, might we use an alternative exit?
Is there something different about you?
I'm under observation. I'll remove it once we're south of Trafalgar Square.
Why are you looking at me with such concern?
Your vitality's been drained from you. Marriage. It's the end, I tell you.
I think of it as the beginning.
A life in matrimony, the possibility of a family. Who wants to die alone?
So we'll have a good old-fashioned romp tonight. You'll settle down, have a family, and I'll die alone. Yes, that's about it.
Yep.
Sounds about right.
Good evening, Shirley. Well, I see your bootmaker is ill, dear brother. Where the hackney carriage by which you arrived had a damaged wheel. And it's plain to the meanest intelligence that you have recently acquired a new bow for your violin.
Same bow. May I deduce, Mycroft?
This guy's just going back and forth with the details.
The whole situation could, excuse me, suddenly erupt.
His face is disgusted.
We'll start with the champagne. We may need several more chairs. What is it your brother does exactly?
He's the keeper of the broom cupboard of state. I'd like to propose a toast.
Ready?
To my dear friend, Dr. John Watson.
I'm right here.
On the eve. It's been the best of companions.
Shouldn't we be waiting? Why are we here?
Your very good health, Doctor. Shame none of your friends could make it.
Give me my money.
Happily. Give me the wedding ring.
Now you're interested in being the best man. Just as you're supposed to organize my stag party.
Don't want to lose it on a bet.
You're the one with no friends. Surely no mates. He's all me, isn't he?
Yeah, what was he sniffing that about?
Maybe some sort of high from it, or...
Please sit.
Bliss?
Put your money on the table and we will begin. Welcome. I'm Madame Simza. Cards can illuminate your past, clarify your present, and show you the future. If you have a specific question, hold it in your mind. Let me know when you're ready.
Actually, I prefer to read your fortune.
I don't think that's how that works.
The fool. Someone has been led astray.
You have to make me believe you. I have to see it in your eyes.
The Two of Cups, a powerful bond. And I see a name. Yes, it's Renee.
What do you want?
The devil.
Ooh.
Found my purpose in life. So, the question I've been holding is, what purpose is Renee fulfilling?
Time is up. I have other clients.
There's a man concealed in the rafters above us. First, pillage the nest.
I like how they do that shudder on the...
Now,
when they're doing
blunt
it
his
here.
beak.
Blunt his beak.
Crack eggs. Pinch of salt. Touch of
This
pepper.
is so cool. Only a Guy Ritchie movie.
Flip the omelet. Additional seasoning required.
Oh, whack.
Oh, that was new.
Ah, played out different.
Yep.
Oh, that was
Come
cool.
with me. I need you alive. Now.
Come with me if you want to live.
You were gonna get- right away. You knew what I was thinking. Whoa.
Oh, he knew about the fur.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh.
See that in the cards, did you?
Oh,
Oh, well, got lucky and landed on the soft bed of grain.
Counting down, folks, counting down. Our next top 5. 2, 1, run it!
nice.
It's like they're in a dog collar match.
Guy's persistent, isn't he?
All mine.
On frickin' Watson's table. Oh, man.
Now, wait a minute.
Ah.
All right, at least he's out in the water now.
Hey, you run. Where's you?
I'm glad to see you're taking your best man duties so seriously. You do have a wedding to attend.
Oh, I drive.
Oh,
Oh, he's in good shape. Give me my blanket back.
Gives her the old wink.
Well, I still had the wedding ring, though, at least.
Still came through.
I've been to a wedding here before. Funeral, too. The professor wants to meet. He was wondering if it'd be convenient for you to come by the college.
one side, Chumley.
Chumley.
The beard and the different accents throwing me off so much.
Excuse me. Might you please take these up to Mr. Williams?
Might I trouble you for an inscription?
I read that the good doctor was to be married today.
He'll no longer be party to my investigations. He's out of the equation. I trust you'll take this into consideration.
And what considerations will you grant me?
Domestic horror cultures.
I have the utmost regard for your talents. It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
Are you familiar with the study of graphology? Psychological analysis of handwriting. The upward strokes on the P, the J, and the M indicate a genius-level intellect. But if one observes the overall slant in the pressure of the writing, there's a suggestion of acute narcissism.
The old handwriting test.
Regarding Dr. Watson not being involved, the answer is no.
Two gentlemen find themselves at cross purposes. A young woman torn between them, and she suddenly falls ill with tragic consequences. A rare form of tuberculosis. She succumbed in a matter of seconds.
My respect for you, Mr. Holmes, is the only reason you're still alive.
You've paid me several compliments. Let me pay you one in return. When I said if I were assured of the former eventuality, I would cheerfully accept the latter.
I'll be sure to send my regards to the happy couple.
Another time, then.
Oh, the tension.
Oh, that's how smart guys fight. If this was a classic action movie, they would have done it right there.
Oh, yeah. They have their first battle and then the final battle at the end to settle the score.
Ooh.
First class.
All aboard, Pepperoni. All aboard.
Hurry up, Dr. Watson. Your wife needs you.
Coming, Mrs. Watson.
Well, good thing he is very smart, though, too.
I'm sorry, madam. You cannot use the lavatory while the train's in the station.
Or is he just looking for Sherlock?
Why do you have a gun stuffed down the back of your trousers?
Old habits.
Oh, yes, please.
We didn't order that. With our compliments, sir.
Oh,
uh-oh. Oh, I love how they're using the lights here.
I think it's time for you to leave.
See ya.
Look at her coming in the clutch.
Oh.
It's not my best disguise.
I understand. Terribly inconvenient. We don't have much time.
That is like
little
a shot.
Oh. That's a big drop.
It had to be done. In my own defense, I timed it perfectly.
By the time I'd explained, we'd both be dead.
Little switcheroo.
And it's gonna backfire.
Oh,
There it goes.
What a cool build-up.
Lie down with me, Watson.
Why?
Oh boy, they got the big dogs out.
Ooh. Oh, they did not care about collateral damage.
No. And there we go.
Make it count.
I said make it count.
Oh, which one was it?
I like how that was great. He just looks at me. Just,
That's it.
just
It's
the
over.
look on his face. That was perfect. Great job of that guy.
Over here, madam. Once more unto the breach.
Then
That's the
Tahiti.
spirit. Where is it we're going?
Paris, the most sensible honeymoon destination of all.
That's just hanging on the back of the train's blowing off.
I was wondering where they were sitting.
Yeah.
So why Paris? Peaches. There's a gypsy camp, famous for its dried fruit. And there we shall find our fortune teller.
We're going to get our Top Gun moment. Yeah.
Yep. Sure enough.
A little less dramatic, though.
And, my ticket? Un bel ouvrage. Merci.
Don Giovanni, huh?
Unfortunately, you won't be needing yours.
I was looking forward to Don Giovanni.
You can't go.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking something bad's going to happen.
Follow mine heart.
These guys aren't up to no good.
Yeah, they don't look like they're possibly going to do something.
Wake up, we're here. Brace yourself, we're about to be violated.
They're taking my luggage.
Laugh them away, Watson. I have her bag.
This is Simza. I'm Sim. Nice scarf. I like.
Oh!
C'est au sujet de son frère.
Hey, there she is.
Who's back?
Your brother has become involved with a very dangerous man who clearly believes that Renee has told you something you shouldn't know.
I've been looking for him for over a year.
Has he sent you anything else?
Just a few drawings.
Let's just see what they have to tell us.
Looks good in that scarf.
They smell musty. Must have been stored somewhere. Cold. What's that? Blood?
Wine. So, a wine cellar located near a printing press.
It is a wine cellar used by the anarchist group La Penvert. René was close to their leader. I was a part of the movement. So was René. Until it became too extreme for us. Ravache knows me.
Je vais envoyer un message à Ravache.
Oui.
Get my scarf back?
No, I don't think so.
Nah.
He's pulling it off.
Whatever you do, don't let these gypsies make you drink.
You dance?
For God's sake, don't dance. It'll be the death of you.
A little chest pop. Oh no, is he gonna gamble?
Good morning, Mrs. Watson.
Morning, sir. Telegram for Mrs. Watson.
It doesn't make any sense.
Allow me. My most loathed Mary, I do not love you. I never wish to see you again. Every moment I count away from you is a blessing. It's a double encryption, my dear, that Shirley and I have used since we were boys. If the first letter of the message is a consonant, then what follows is the mirrored truth. Where are you going, Stanley?
He just keeps passing it.
Fucking Stanley.
Still hiding in basements?
Oh, God, I can't wait to see who the brother's going to be.
Sit, please.
A letter was received from Renee using this same paper.
Of course. They took it with them wherever he went.
I made a deal with the devil, but after tonight, it will be over.
He's had you plant another bomb, hasn't he?
He has my wife and children. No loose ends. There's only one thing I can do to keep my family safe. You have less than 10 minutes.
Don't!
No!
He has no further need of that pistol. Why don't you take it and cover the stairs?
Wow, I did not see that part coming.
There's only one way out of this place.
Ah, ingenious.
I always wanted a house with a secret door.
Well, never too late. Where would it go to?
I don't know. Maybe an escape?
A secret room.
Or a secret room. One of the two.
He lived for liberty. He would never take his own life.
Calm yourself. I need you to take a deep breath and follow us.
Oh, boy.
To the opera.
Not a lot of lumens out of that torch.
No, no.
The idea of getting that dressed up for any sort of performance doesn't appeal to me.
Well, you didn't have much else to do.
That's very true.
Yeah, and this was a privilege to go to that sort of stuff.
I know.
Ugh. I'll take it from here. That's a lot of makeup there. Chess piece.
I made a mistake.
Wow, those two. Should have just followed them around.
Looking dastardly.
It's gonna go off.
Oh, there goes like the entire political class.
He took the shot from here.
There's a faint scrape where he dragged his tripod and set it up here. 600 shekels.
650? Sebastian Moran, best marksman in the British Army. Dishonorable discharge. What better way to conceal a killing? No one looks for a bullet hole in a bomb blast.
650 yards in a 1891 rifle.
Last night's bombing was clearly meant to look like Germany's retaliation for Strasbourg. The man killed by the gunshot was none other than Alfred Mernhard.
He makes guns. Big guns.
Years ago, a large share of his company was bought by an unknown investor. I was obliged to collect more sufficient data.
Train departs in 14 minutes, sir.
I'm loving all the disguises we're getting.
Just the bags.
We have enough time for me to
slick.
indulge my little habit.
Habit of feeding that urban species, the feral pigeon, the Gare du Nord, where he will be just in time to catch the 11:04 train to Berlin.
Too English.
Where are the wagons?
Can't you write?
How can we make this more manageable?
It's gonna be like a side cart.
Somebody
Where's the fire?
We know another way.
So far back.
We slip in through the loading bay.
Getting out might be tricky.
We will get you out. If my brother's in there, get him out alive.
Are you as happy as you would be on your honeymoon in Brighton? Send this to Mycroft. Be back here on the hour.
There, you got to look the part.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like doing an old text message on a razor.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2,
T.
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. E.
Kids today don't even know.
How good they got it.
Basically Morse code.
Basically.
Ooh.
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 That's a lot.
Holy shit.
That's what you get, Mr. Holmes, when industry marries arms. All you need is one of these.
Good old chloroform.
Take him to the surgery.
It seems like in the 90s, 2000s, and forward, we saw a lot less use of chloroform film.
Yeah, it was always the big surprise.
In the 80s, it was like always a thing, you know?
Yeah.
Come at once if convenient. If inconvenient, come all the same.
A telegram was sent from here.
You are familiar with Schubert's work.
The trout is perhaps my favorite. A fisherman grows weary of trying to catch an elusive fish, so he muddies the water.
Also keine Papiere.
He doesn't realize until too late that it has swum into a trap.
Oh. Oh, hook right in the shoulder.
Gotta make it count, Watson.
To whom did you send the telegram? To my brother, Mycroft.
Oh, that is a lot of damage.
Okay, so he's looking at the hearing protection because he's gonna fire the dick.
I did like that touch of the earmuffs.
Well, because like he was looking at the earmuffs, so I was like thinking protection wise, okay, what is he doing with that for him shooting? Use that as a decoy again and then take him out.
Take it out.
Oh.
Yeah, well, you know, if you got something lodged in you, you're supposed to wait until you are at the doctor to actually remove
Well,
they had places
Watson
to be.
is a doctor.
Professor.
I'm all right. I'm not all right.
Did you see my brother?
No, but I'm certain he's been here. Holmes, how did you know I would find you? You didn't find me. You collapsed the building on me.
Oh.
I like the lighting here of like the early morning, kind of blue. They just keep going bigger.
a lot of sizable howitzers there, huh?
Well, there's your wall.
Don't have to climb it over it.
There's no way out!
Oh, Jesus.
Mortars.
Jesus, now we're in a mortar fire.
Oh.
This is so cool.
Slow motion makes things awesome.
Well, and then the camera
panning, how it's spinning. Yep.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, God, just all these shots where they're doing that where it stabilizes on the person running.
Yeah.
Oh,
got him.
Partially.
The old oblique shot.
Guys, on the right side too.
Shot.
Not even on his left, on his right. By order of the Peaky Blinders.
Oh, we lost Marco.
Ice cold.
He's not breathing.
Cradle his head.
Oh,
come on.
Doesn't he have the adrenaline shot?
His wedding gift.
I was gonna say they didn't just show that with the dog earlier for nothing.
I have an important job to discuss with you. Remind me of it later.
Sit down.
Did you call me a selfish bastard?
Probably. I think we should go home.
I concur. We're going home.
Gotta finish this.
Job's not done.
Via Switzerland.
All right.
I'll drop in and see my brother. I'm sure he's missed you.
Got any more of those adrenaline shots?
Look at that. Is that? I wonder if that place is real.
It should be an assassination by a lone gunman at close range.
Her brother.
Renee will be the evidence.
If we can find him, we'll perhaps not only save his life, but prevent the collapse of Western civilization.
Well, no pressure.
No pressure.
Oh,
I know.
I know you didn't remember that from however many years ago, huh? Liar! Look at that.
let us know if that's real. That'd be freaking awesome.
Look at Moriarty in his top hat.
Now we're all present, I can tell you that the targets are the German Chancellor and his ambassador, the French Prime Minister and his man.
Is it to be an official photograph?
Indeed, yes. 38 minutes.
We might as well dance.
What do you see?
Everything. That is my curse.
But you don't see what you're looking for.
Not at the moment. But he will.
I thought you'd never ask. Dr. Hoffman's style.
We've already seen an example of his skills.
Those twins weren't twins.
I should have realized then that they were a surgical experiment. What better way to guarantee his world war than to make the assassin?
One of the ambassadors.
You and Sim shall find her brother. By the way, who taught you how to dance?
You did.
Well, I've done a fine job.
Shall we get to work?
Ladies and gentlemen, please gather for the portrait.
Oh, here we go.
Is this a bad time? Never better. Would you bring that clock?
Is there a chessboard there?
Here we are. Don't want you to catch cold.
Oh, that's not really how it works. We know that now.
A 5-minute game?
If you think you can manage it.
Oh, it's badass.
The drama began.
I think it might be him.
You have to be sure. May I remind you, this is blitz chess. If I tackle the wrong man to the ground, I could start a war. I expect everyone has a reason to be nervous tonight.
Oh, I love the back and forth here.
Yeah.
So perhaps it's the opposite. A failure to behave naturally. An actor so consumed with his performance that the one characteristic he cannot accommodate is spontaneous reaction.
Well, there you go.
Sieben.
Brother, protect the Prime Minister.
Who just took the piece, though?
Germany will pay! Mark my word!
Seems your bishop was of some benefit. After all.
The game is still young.
Actually, it's in its adolescence.
Oh, boy. He had multiple people there.
Always gonna have a backup.
Germany will pay!
Oh, took care of him.
No loose ends.
What happened? I'm a doctor. A doctor!
Curare.
What's wrong with him?
Poison.
War has been averted.
Well, I disagree.
How so?
Didn't you find it strange that the telegram you sent didn't inspire any action to stop me? War on an industrial scale is inevitable.
Bishop takes knight check.
The game is over.
About that fortune of yours. I believe it's just been substantially reduced.
King to Rook 2.
I attended several of your lectures.
The energy that is required to release the explosion is
It was in
actually...
Oslo when I first caught a glimpse of your little notebook. Rook to King's Rook 3. Check.
Oh.
Missing it.
Bishop to Rook 3. Then it occurred that with an empire so enormous, even you must keep a record of it somewhere. I would need to endure a considerable amount of pain. But the notebook would undoubtedly be encoded, so how then to break the code?
Pawn takes rook.
Bishop to bishop 7.
Queen
I love
takes
this.
knight pawn.
Does the art of domestic horticulture mean anything to you?
Yeah.
That we saw that.
Never mind, it's safe. In London.
Any chance of a cup of tea?
Ah!
How much more is there?
That's the end of page 2. Page 3.
I shall endeavor to find the most creative of endings for the Doctor.
His advantage, my injury. My advantage, his rage. Use his momentum to counter.
You really think you're the only one who can play this game?
Trap arm. Target weakens.
Oh, okay, this is cool.
Now, allow me to reply.
Wound taking its toll.
As I feared.
Let's not waste any more of one another's time.
Oh, you knew that waterfall had to come into play.
Conclusion, inevitable. Unless...
He fights dirty.
What? Come on, no way. This has got to be just what he's picturing in his head as an alternative option. There's no way he did it.
A few words may suffice to tell the little that remains. Any attempt at finding the bodies was absolutely hopeless. I shall ever regard him as the best and the wisest man whom I have ever known.
John, it's going to be a beautiful week in Brighton.
It'll be fun.
You know I miss him too, in my own way. When's Mrs. Hudson coming for Gladstone?
3 o'clock.
Always a mysterious package.
A lot of postage.
For oxygen while he was underwater.
Ha! Mary, who delivered this parcel?
Did he look peculiar?
The camouflage.
Oh, I knew it.
I love how it came back around. Gosh, did everybody deliver.
Once again.
All right, as per usual,
man.
since I had seen this one before, just kind of my quick 10-second overview here. They took everything that worked in the first one and just gave us more of that. The addition of Stephen Fry, I thought, was just awesome. He did such a fantastic role. The comedic timing he had was a little bit different than what we saw between Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law, even though theirs was perfect. And I thought the chemistry between those two really got cranked up a level in this movie. I thought this one was just so superior to the first one, and I mean that in a good way. I enjoyed the first one, but this one was just such another level of just improvement on everything. And the musical score, the fight in the woods with the slow motion and the cannon shots, incredible. I'll kick it over to these guys.
Yeah, once again, the dialogue, the cat and mouse game that we're playing now with Moriarty. I mean, we were kind of introduced to him at the end, right? At the end of the first one. And
Never
so now
saw his face, though.
we never saw his face, only heard him. So I was wondering in this movie too, how long were we just going to hear him and not see him? Well, they took care of that right away as he took out Irene Adler. I don't think so. Like, I was like, if I would have saw this at the time that it came out, I would have been definitely hoping that there would have been a third one because, he came back. He put the end, had the question mark instead of the period. So it was just awesome to see these guys come back to film. I mean, they made money. So the movie as a whole was visually, just amazing. I don't know if it'll make the cut, but when we watched the credits, we saw the visual effects supervisor did a phenomenal job, especially the scene where they're running through the woods and you have all the different types of ammo and arsenal that they were using, that they were getting fired at from just the small guns all the way up to the mortars. They're doing everything as they're trying to get to the train. And we only lost like 4 people out of that, but still, it was just an amazing visually seen from the slowdowns to even, I'm going to say Arthur just because I'd rather say that than the henchman. When Arthur Shelby was running through where the camera, that was the thing during this time is where, they would keep it stabilized on the person, but you'd see everything shaking around them, just like if you saw like when they would have the camera on the face and everything's moving behind them. So I thought that was amazing because then it just puts you in their spot. So as much as it's awesome to watch, on this TV and everything like that, watching it in the theater had to have been just a visual treat. And then, of course, the dialogue was just amazing. The back and forth between Downey Jr. and Jude Law. Now, are these only 2 movies they've done together? Let me know in the comments if they've done more together, because their chemistry, and but that also speaks volumes to both of them as individual actors, that they could probably get chemistry with just about anybody. But in these 2 movies especially, was perfect with their back and forth. And then even with Moriarty, Professor, him and his back and forth with Downey Jr. was just perfect. And I loved the fight scene at the end where we're used to seeing, Sherlock do his thing where, all right, I do this, and then I do this and do that. And then it was great that they then panned over to him like, you think you're the only one that can do that? Please. So it was just great. And then even is inevitable. Are you sure about that? So it was great that we went back around with them going, and he found a new choice, and it was great how they did the ending where it came back around with him blending it to the freaking chair, and like even him going like that to the puppy. And
I wonder if we go back and watch it, and if we would notice Robert Downey Jr. in the chair there, if we go back and check it out, that'd be interesting.
We'd have to do that. But yeah, once again, this was so great. I hope that they eventually do a third film. So maybe it will be. And it looks like it was possibly going to happen, but we'll look at it further, or let us know in the comments what you've heard, or if you would definitely want to see a third Sherlock Holmes, because I know that I would definitely want to see one.
Yeah, I agree with Mason Quinn. I thought this one surpassed the first one. I think they took all the things that made the first one a lot of fun with the mystery and the action and the fighting and kind of improved on it. The addition of Moriarty, I thought, was really, really clever. I liked him as our antagonist more in this film than the previous. So I thought that was brilliant. I liked the way they brought back the stylized shooting with how he thought out his next moves were going to play out. I thought that was really cool. And then, of course, the addition at the end where we saw like the 2 can play at this game. That was very creative. The addition of Fry, I thought was a lot of fun. Right when they brought in his brother, I'm like, okay, I'm not sure. Looks absolutely nothing like Downey whatsoever. I mean, not even a little, but hey, look, brothers oftentimes can look very different. But it turned out to be a very comedic addition, very witty to this film, which I thought was great. I love that they, they did a little bit with the bulldog, in the beginning. I was like, okay, we knew that was gonna work its way back into the plot at some point or another. That entire running through the woods scene was phenomenal. The way they shot that with the panning and rotating cameras, the slow motion, the close-ups, that was all really brilliant. Even down to him having to ride the little horse. I mean, just good comedic. I mean, this movie really, I think, I mean, just nailed it. I mean, everything you could want in this type of movie, the mystery, the plot twists, the kind of the Sherlock Holmes. He's paying attention to every little detail. The scene where they were locked in the basement and he pictured the whole how that would have played out. And now there's a fake wall here. So every little thing you could expect from a Sherlock Holmes film, and so much more. It's truly, let's take this classic detective, whodunit, and mix it with Guy Ritchie's brilliance and creativeness, and see what we come up with. And I mean, as far as the two leads, Jude Law and Robert Downey Jr. I mean, two absolutely brilliant actors who their on-screen chemistry worked incredibly well together. I think that this film absolutely crushed it, and it's difficult to have the second be better than the first, and that's in anything. I think a lot of times, hey, we made a ton of money. The first one, it was well received. I have to imagine for sequels, when you look at budgeting and profits and loss and and profit margins and things like that, I have to imagine a lot of the studios know, hey, look, the second one's never really pop off as much as the first one's, right? But if we made $400 million on the first one, and we can even take a 25% cut and still come out $300 million ahead. Look, I'm not a studio executive, but I'm guessing that's a pretty good risk. So a lot of times you expect sequels just to be there and be entertaining, and if they make less money, so what? If they're still turning a big profit. But this one, I thought was great. Of course, like we always do, we looked at what some of the critics said, and it was interesting that it was mixed. Some of the critics felt like that the first one was better and this one lacked. Some of the critics, including Roger Ebert, of course, one of the most famous film critics of all time, said that he thought this one was better than the original, to which don't always agree with Roger Ebert, but I respect him. But on this one, I do. Some people said they would have liked to have seen a little bit more Rachel McAdams in the film. But if she served her purpose to be kind of that pain, that thorn in the side of Holmes, and it also kind of put him on the path to be able to focus more on what was at hand. Of course, last time we saw like this back and forth between those two, which I thought was entertaining. But it really kind of narrowed his focus. Great comedy with the urban camouflage. I thought that was cool. Wasn't expecting that at the end. I wonder if we go back, if you would notice it now, because of course they didn't make it like. I'm looking. So we're going back and looking at it now. In the shot with Jude Law's head where you see the chair where he's supposed to be sitting, and I don't see anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty out of focus too.
Yeah,
they purposely do it.
I'm trying to see where you first noticed him. Yeah, now it's out of focus again. And now
you can tell.
Yeah, you can kind of tell when he's walking out the door, but it's seamless for the scene that then he gets up.
I mean, so what a brilliant ending that he would have had an outfit made for his chair. Of course, the dog. Wow, look! This was so much fun, and I came in with higher expectations because it's Robert Downey and Jude Law. And of course now, since Yellowstone, everybody knows who Kelly Reilly is. I'm not sure how famous she was at this particular time this was filmed. I thought this was so much fun, guys. I didn't know what to expect. Wasn't sure if it would live up to the first one, but it surpassed it for me.
Yeah, for me, they've done a number of these kind of classic retelling of very well-known figures that have been done in various books, whether it's, King Arthur, Sherlock Holmes, Merlin the Wizard, from all those different genres, Robin Hood. And sometimes they're hits and sometimes they're misses. And just because you have a really good classical character that's been known for, in some cases, hundreds of years, if not more, it doesn't always guarantee it's going to work. And I think sometimes what they struggle with on some of the movies is they maybe try to modernize them a little bit, and maybe they get a little too modernized and they lose kind of that magic that those characters originally had. And I think with Sherlock Holmes here in this sequel, I thought they rode that razor's edge just perfectly. They they kept the music and the score really spot on for the time period, which I liked. They didn't try to necessarily modernize it. I know that in the trailer for Gladiator 2, there was a lot of folks who were kind of upset about the choice of music, something as you might think inconsequential. A lot of people didn't like it. So I liked how they were able to keep the tone of this one. Again, like everything you guys said, all the shots they used in classical Guy Ritchie form that we've come to love, they did all that. You could kind of go along and solve the mystery a little bit with them, I think, if you were, kind of paying close attention to certain things. Now, obviously, the big reveal at the end with the book was something that you probably didn't see coming, most likely, but they did have all the clues when he first went into Moriarty's office. They had basically the code was on the chalkboard with all the numbers. They showed the shot of the plant. They showed the shot of the horticulture book. And it had been a while since I've seen this one, a number of years, but even that one I was like, that's right, they showed it, so that was fun to see. Again, the addition of Stephen Fry was awesome. I kind of touched on that. And look, if you want a Sherlock Holmes movie about this character, I don't think it can be done any better than this. I thought everybody delivered. It was fun. It had really good pacing. Didn't seem like over 2 hours plus. And the story kept you compelled and kept you wondering what the next step was. And of course, Robert Downey Jr. did an amazing job. I still, the way he did this character where he doesn't always necessarily look people in the eyes. He's always kind of looking off to the side, or his brain is always working. And even when he's in the moment talking to somebody, you can tell he's thinking about something else and thinking ahead. And I just love the way that was done. And again, huge kudos to everybody involved. You guys nailed it. Just outstanding.
I wonder if there's, I don't mean this to be controversial for people to take this wrong at all. So I wonder if there's been people who have speculated that the character he plays here is supposed to be somewhere, maybe just a little bit on the spectrum, just because of the way he sees things and instantly locks them in his memory. And look, some people have different, very photographic memories and things like that. But I wonder if that's been a theory that he's, with his quirks and with not making eye contact, with the way he notices things, the way he's able to do that. Let us know in the comments whether that's something that people have discussed, whether it's just his innate ability to just lock everything in. It's just because his brain works a little differently.
Because I like the scene where he's dancing with where he's dancing with Sim, and she's like, "What do you see?" And he goes, "Everything."
And that's the problem.
It's interesting that you bring that up, Answer, because that was the scene that kind of made me think that, and some of you may have seen this. Years ago, there was an autistic artist from New York, or I don't know if he was from New York, but they took him in a helicopter ride over New York. And they gave him a canvas. This is one of the wildest things I've ever seen in my entire life. They gave him a canvas probably, 15, 20 feet long. And they flew him over a place he'd never been. And he went and drew it on this giant canvas. Yeah. And it's the most, I'm sure plenty of you have seen it. It's been on, evening news, and it's been all over talk shows and stuff like that. But he was able to fly over, and every detail, every building, it's the most mind-numbing thing. And it's so crazy that you brought up that scene, because that was the scene where they were spinning and he's seeing everything. And I'm like, I wonder if they're trying to infer here that there's some correlation between what we've seen with people who have autism. I know the spectrum is a vast spectrum. But I was wondering that, and it's so interesting that you brought up that scene, because that was the one that made me think. I'm like, oh, you know what? I wonder, because he notices every little
Well, and that's the thing with his character. Yes, he's very intelligent. Yes, he's very wise. He's a brilliant mind, but his mind also works differently. He's not just smart. So,
and that's why I question that, because it's not. I think they're trying to show that it's not just he's somebody who's very acute and very smart. There's something a little bit different, which makes him as brilliant as he is.
I grabbed yours. There's more over there. If you, just in case you were wondering, there's the scores over there. Oh, is there another one over there?
There is. All right.
Well, the reason why I like that too is because going back to the show that I've seen that you guys haven't, Psych, is where he does do that, where he picks up the little things. And I mean, he's just a goofball, but when it comes to remembering things, like if you've seen the show Psych, you know, he'll go like that, and they show it grainy, and they'll highlight the things that are clues for what he needs to get. So that's where I really love that scene, and that's why I've really loved these two movies, really, because I always loved Psych, and this is like a big film version of Psych.
Yep. So for me, I'll just kick this one right off. This is a 4.75 for me. I thought it vastly improved on the first one. I loved everything from the way they played with the shutter speed when Holmes was going through his mind as to what he was going to do. The visuals and the use of color I thought was really good in this one. We saw the early morning fight scene at the docks where everything was really blue and they were trying to escape before the big shootout in the woods. So yeah, 4.75 for me. I challenge anybody to find a better Sherlock Holmes movie than this one was, and Jared Harris was incredible as a villain.
Maybe we'll watch more and we'll test that theory out, which, hey, I'm here for it. For me, 4.8 out of 5 answers. Like I said, everything that they did right in the first one, they improved upon. And like, I don't know how Hans Zimmer, but you even made the music even better than the first one, and he knocked it out of the park. Looks like he hit 2 grand slams with the music, because, well, I mean, he's Hans Zimmer, he'll do great, but yeah, once again, everything just seemed like it went up a notch. My only gripe is, I wish we'd had more Irene, just because that was another element to add into like who you're working for and this and that, and he had to stay not just one step ahead of the bad guy or the villain, but also her. So
yeah, so this is going to be a 4.9 for me. I'm like, do I give it a 5? It doesn't. And I think it's a phenomenal movie. It just doesn't quite have that last little 5 pop for me. But a 4.9, and I think I gave the first one a 4.25. So for me, a huge upgrade, which again, you're always a little leery going into the sequels, but with the cast that we had, and of course it being a Guy Ritchie film, I was confident it would be good, but I didn't know that it would be this good. 4.9 for me. This was an unexpected ride that we went on, and to kind of answer your question whether anybody could do it better, I think really at this point, to have it in this style, I think the only way you could do it different and maybe have it be equal is to almost do like a darker version, where it's a little like the Batman the Batman version of of the Robert Pattinson version of Batman.
It would have to be very different.
It would have to be in a different light, where they went a darker version, and it was more it was more geared towards just the drama and less the action and the comedy. So
for sure.
So yeah, this was so much fun.
Hopefully more Guy Ritchie stuff to come.
Well, this guy always wants the Guy Ritchie stuff to come. Hey,
so far behind.
I'm here for it. So hopefully you're here for it. Hopefully you guys like this as much as us. Let us know in the comments too. Do you want to see a Sherlock 3? They say they're working on it. Hopefully we do get it at some point. That would be amazing. So for Appleton Oak, that's Mason Quinn. I'm of course the answer. Good night, pals.